Look what welfare cheaters used food stamps to buy. American taxpayers or LIVID. The welfare state has been a controversial issue in American politics since its beginnings in the mid-20th century. For the longest time, the idea of giving people free benefits at the expense of other taxpayers was deemed anti-American. American people were generally united against the socialist policies espoused by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels in the Communist Manifesto in the immediate decades after its publication in 1848. Almost a century later, however, that anti-socialist unity began to change. The Great Depression brought a political realignment along with the stock market crash, food shortages, and bank failures. Indeed, the Democratic Party turned into a socialist party under Franklin Delano Roosevelt and his administration. As part of his New Deal, FDR implemented countless socialist policies. He raised taxes, redistributed wealth, and created welfare programs. The popular interpretation of history states that FDR brought the country out of the Great Depression through these policies. Many economists today, however, argue otherwise, with some claiming that FDR's policies actually created many of the problems we see in our own century. There is no question that FDR laid the foundations for the modern welfare state, which were strengthened even more by Lyndon Johnson's Great Society programs in the 1960s. Thanks to these two men, along with their numerous progressive allies, we now have a robust welfare state in America. This has naturally created a multitude of problems, such as entitlement, inequality, and fraud. From Breitbart. Several people in Pennsylvania were charged with allegedly stealing a total of $287,000 worth of welfare benefits in April, with some of the benefits being used to buy heroin, according to Pennsylvania's Office of the Inspector General. The Office of the Inspector General expects to recover a total of $287,659 from the charges filed, mostly from food stamp fraud, Lehigh Valley Live reported. The alleged fraudsters stole $187,241 in Supplemental Nutrition Assistant Program benefits, $46,494 in subsidized daycare, $37,052 in government-funded benefits such as Medicaid, $11,348 in monetary assistance, and $5,523 in the Low-Income Energy Assistance Program. How outrageous is this? Taxpayer dollars from hard-working Americans were used to buy narcotics for welfare abusers, and it is all thanks to the liberal politicians who created a culture of dependence and entitlement. Although welfare does help some people, it has allowed many others to mooch of the government in lieu of providing for themselves. Because they are given assurances by the government, Americans these days have little desire to work. Instead, they expect more and more handouts every year, and when those handouts do not come, they resort to fraud. The government needs to clean up its welfare program if it wants it to remain legitimate and beneficial. Too many people use welfare to pay for vices and excessive lifestyles, and the government must put those practices to an end. The government's first responsibility is towards its people. If the welfare state is allowed to spiral out of control, the government would not be keeping to that responsibility.